One love, Delta 9 travelers. Welcome back to the channel. Look, I got some trending and important updates to bring to you right here on Delta 9 Media. These are some of the headlines that we'll be covering in this video.
On the police blotter tonight, a number of Venezuelan nationals who entered Guyana illegally and were nabbed during a joint services operation in the Iwukrama Protected Area Reserve have been ordered deported. As the
four-story plus a little thing at the top there. And they can't give you no plan. They can't even show the people no plan. And all of that was established when the people were here. But no, at the end of the day, when we gone, the curtains drawn, they paid the people off, and that was it. So Spanish getting more freedom in this place than anything else. This is Albertown. This is Cummins Street, Albertown.
No formula barred it then. Now, Forward Guyana, after 6 weeks of an election, of campaigning and participating in an election, we won, I think it was 4,585 votes. And that figure is almost 20 times what Ashike Soon had. But she was appointed to the deputy speakership. And it's almost double what Schumann had. And he was appointed to the deputy speakership. And so that PPP government, the same person that vehemently objected to my nomination based on this mathematical formula, now invokes this vote count formula to prevent me from saying.
So this is the building that's constructing. This is the building that's constructing. This building is currently building by Spanish individuals, owned by Spanish. This is my house here. This is the neighbor house, one to the back, one to over there, and one here. This building is constructed with no safety nets. That's one. There's no safety. Two, it hasn't any pile that is driven in this building, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 stories up. No piles. Every minute, things from at the top there are falling on my roof, caused multiple damages to my roof. My 2 bedrooms there are leaking. Mind you, this is where my beds are. Each bedroom, one has my daughter's bedroom there. The bed is leaking. Over her bed is leaking. My bed is leaking. You understand? You gotta be sleeping there. When rain falls, you gotta get up and move your head because it's leaking. I am so fed up of this situation. Constantly, we've been reporting this to the authorities. They came here twice. I figured they got paid off or bribed, and nothing is being done about this. Now look at this building. Look at the height of this building. No pile is driven. No proper foundation was built for this building. So at any given time, this building can fall. And as you can see, currently this building is leaning. You understand me? And my house is there. I have 3 kids. 3 babies here. So at any given point, if this building falls, I am looking thin. You understand? Especially if I'm sleeping. And I'm so fed up with this. You can't walk into this passageway without looking over your head because you think something's going to fall. You cannot. The minute you walk in here, you got to be looking there because they have no safety net. They've been building like this for the longest while. We've been complaining. The authorities came 2 times and that was it. They got paid off, bribery done. And this was been happening in Guyana all the time. Now I have a business here. I live here. Customers got to come in and watching over the head. When my kids got to run in here, they can't even run without an adult because what? You got to look out for anything's going to fall. And constantly things have been falling. You understand? Now today I think I've reached my limit where wood just fell. Look at this. Broke my line. All the wires here got belly because of this thing. I constantly complain, and there's nothing being done about it. And now my internet, look the internet. Because what fall? Look the internet. Look the line, look it's here. Look where it is. From on the pole. You understand? I need the relevant authorities. I am pleading. I am pleading as a mother of 3 children, and I'm pleading for my safety because my house is right here.
What are your views, Delta 9 travelers? It seems like persons are coming in to Guyana and getting privileges that some of us in Guyana, unless you're connected in certain ways, will never be afforded, right? Look at what's going on right there. Look at this, the things that's being highlighted by this sister. She's saying, listen, she had to bring it to the public so persons could understand because, as she would have mentioned, she contact persons in the authorities already, and what's going on is that the problem still continuing. Persons allegedly are going against the building code. And recently, maybe don't forget, recently there was a building that just came crashing down. Now look how many persons are close to this building. The sisters highlighting that there's young children and they got to now navigate through the building hazards and all kind of things. Help to share this video, Delta 9 travelers. Make sure that persons are able to see what's going on in Guyana, right? Seems like persons is getting more rights than some of us in our own country. It's crazy. Let me see what's going on.
My house is right here, and they've not even compensated us for all the dust and the cement that has been in my AC unit. I had to pay to clean it out because it would have been damaged. They didn't compensate me for my roof that they've made bore so many times. I am fed up. I am truly fed up with this place. The owner for this, the only thing is just running in and run out back. He never came to say cat, dog, nothing. I am totally fed up. I am calling on authorities to come and look into this situation because at any given time this building falls, it could be something fatal. And I am so upset. You understand? I've been fighting for this for so long. All of these neighbors complained. All of these neighbors went into the rightful authorities and nothing has been done. Nothing. And when things fall, nobody comes out from there and says anything. Not a soul.
That's crazy, right? And talk about being neighborly, you know? You see why I'm saying it's important? Unity is important. Unity or else. What's going to be the results? More of the same. Unity or else. There's going to be more of the same. Things like this shouldn't be. There should be a code, and person should be made to follow that code regardless of your nationality. It's just for our safety. It's just for the real progression of our country. You can't put in person's life in hazard and making person's living experience, less, less than it should be.
You understand? Not a soul. So I am totally frustrated at this time as a mother for my own safety, for my family's safety, and even for my neighbors. Because in that house has a baby. In this house has a newborn baby. This building falls in any direction, person's lives are over. You understand? Person's lives are over. Nobody here wants to speak no proper English. And when you try to talk to them, they don't understand. They're just going along with the flow. This building has no pile driven. Look at the height of this building. No pile driven. And this building is leaning. And I am fearful for my life. You understand me? They're constantly building, going up, 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 no safety. No safety net. So things just keep falling. And I'm getting all the backlash. My neighbors at the back, they're getting all the backlash. Things are falling to our yards, the cement, the bricks, the wood, everything has been falling.
Very crazy times. And guess what? There should be committees in place to take care of things like this. There should be a number of persons that is working different areas, making sure, because it's a growing country, there's a lot of development going on all over the place. So there should be standards in place because all of this development could become a whole lot of problems in the close and definitely near future. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be because if you're going all them stories up, you should be following the protocol. Now that is wrong that you're going the stories up because if the area allows for you to be able to go up, then you should go up. But you should be going up, following the right building protocols and making sure that you're not making your neighbor's life hazardous and hell while you're doing it. What y'all think about it? Drop it in the comment section and let's have some right thinking conversation about it because there's a number of things going on in our beautiful country right now.
On the police blotter tonight, a number of Venezuelan nationals who entered Guyana illegally and were nabbed during a joint services operation in the Iwukrama Protected Area Reserve have been ordered deported after pleading guilty to illegal entry. They were also fined $50,000 by Magistrate Clive Nurse during their court appearance on Tuesday. The Venezuelans were nabbed on the 13th and 14th of June. In addition to the charge of illegal entry, some of the Venezuelans were also charged with illegal mining. On the illegal mining charge, they also pleaded guilty and were each fined $25,000. Several Guyanese nationals were among the 40 persons charged for illegal mining activities, and they were also fined after pleading guilty to illegal mining within the Iwukrama Conservation Area. There were at least 4 women among those charged. The Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Defense Force have been leading a number of operations in the interior regions following reports of an upsurge in illegal mining activities. The Iwukrama Conservation Site has repeatedly complained of illegal mining activities taking place within the reserve.
I know a lot of persons could remember when the ministers went into the area, right, of a mining district, and persons said, hey, there's only one person could tell you anything in it, and it's definitely not y'all. So lock the gate and nobody in, nobody out, right? In a country where they are MPs in parliament, they couldn't make no move, but it's a good step, a step in the right direction, a step that is definitely to be commended. When you see persons are definitely being convicted and deported, and there needs to be more of this. There needs to be more of it because if we don't protect our resources and make sure that these different industries got the right kind of structure going on, we can keep getting bleed out, buddy. Persons gonna come from all over the place, take what they want, do what they want, left the country with one set of pollution, destroy the environment, and gone on their way. And then what Guyanese got? What persons who are native to that area is really gonna have? We gotta be serious with these things. Big up to all the travelers who are in the live right now. Big up to everyone who's a part of the channel. Consider becoming a channel membership and be a part of everything that we have going on right here on Delta 9 Media. No, Amanza herself, Honorable Amanza herself, is here to set the record straight because there's a lot of conversation going on about the different committees and why she couldn't sit on it, and the persons that were saying that she couldn't, and the persons that were permitting this, that, and the third. But guess what? This right here should be commended. You know why? Because this is a step in the direction of unity in the opposition. You know why? Because both larger parties in the opposition came forward to support the third party, which is a step in the direction for unity. And it's unity or else because unity is what's going to be needed to make sure that the opposition could step in to the governmental position and to be able to do anything as it relates to really and truly having real representation for a wider spectrum of persons in society, because there's a lot of complaints about persons not seeing the benefits of what's coming into the country from a lot of the wealth, from the resources that we know we country got. Let's hear what's going on right here, right now, from Honorable Amanza Walton Desir.
2 days. This issue about me being on parliamentary committees has sort of blown up and being blown terribly out of proportion, if you ask me. And so a lot has been said about parliamentary committees and formulas and thresholds and whether I should or should not have been appointed. And I've listened carefully, and I will say this this recent decision by the speaker of the house, Manzoor Nadir, who is also the chair of the um, committee that committee of selection. It's it demands a response, I think, not because I am someone that's preoccupied with my political fortunes, but because I believe that the people of Guyana ought to know what has been done in their name. And so I want to be very clear about what happened. As far as I'm aware, both members of parliament of the We Invest in Nationhood as well as the APNU parties. And these two parties represent really the overwhelming majority of opposition voters. They determined that my participation in this would be important, and certainly would serve the national interest. Now, um, that decision to nominate me to these various committees was met with some vehement objections by Gail Teixeira and upheld by Speaker Nadir on the basis of a mathematical formula. Now, before I go further, I really want to thank both the WIN and the APNU for their, reposing that level of confidence in me and for their unanimous support as it relates to my membership on, I think it was three of the committees. Now, I want to also say very, very clearly that in my view, the reaction, the reaction, um, the quite vehement reaction of the PPPC to my nomination really confirms what the arithmetic already suggests, that really this is not the application of principle. This is the PPP using um, using procedure, as it were, to impose pressure. And that is what that is, because the selective application of numbers really does tell you all you need to know about the PPPC. Now, if you recall, in 2020, the very Gail Teixeira that objected to my um, nomination moved the nomination personally, supported the nomination of Lennox Schumann, I think Lennox Schumann, to the office of Deputy Speaker, in defiance of a long held custom that the Deputy Speakership goes to the parliamentary opposition, in that case, the largest parliamentary opposition, completely flouted that and nominated Schumann to the second highest position in the House. This is not a committee. Now, if you remember, Mr. Schumann was a representative of a joinder list. And let me check my notes here. I think Mr. Schumann received 2,657 votes, right? And so the PPPC used its majority to secure his nomination to the deputy speakership, and no formula barred the way then. Now, in 2023, again, Gail Teixeira removed the nomination of Asha Kisoon. You remember Dr. Asha Kisoon? And I think Asha had 244 votes. And she was entitled under the joinder arrangement, because remember they had a joinder arrangement. This was not one slate. each party had their own slate and they joined it. And so under the arrangement, she was entitled to be there for 91 days. And of course, the PPP used their majority again to vote her in, and no formula barred it then. Now, Forward Guyana, after 6 weeks of an election, of campaigning and participating in an election, we won, I think it was 4,585 votes. And that figure is almost 20 times what Ashike Soon had, but she was appointed to the deputy speakership. And it's almost double what Schumann had, and he was appointed the deputy speakership. And so that PPP government, the same person that vehemently objected to my, my nomination based on this mathematical formula, now invokes this vote count formula to prevent me rather from sitting on a committee. And I speak about it because I don't want Guyanese people to lose sight of the hypocrisy of the likes of Gail Teixeira and Manzur Nadir and this PPPC government, right? So it's interesting that I've spent the better part of the last year demanding that these committees be constituted and convened. As the people of Guyana well know, I petitioned the clerk, I wrote to a number of international organizations, I wrote to the ABCEU missions, and to everybody who has a standing parliamentarily, to insist that Guyana's parliament must function. I did it because parliamentary oversight is not a personal ambition. Parliamentary oversight in a country like Guyana is a constitutional necessity.
Very powerful points being made by Honorable Amanza Walton Desir, right? Persons are using their opportunity to create possibilities that they would like to see experienced. But when others do it, it seems like it's a big problem. And now they're saying that it's the matter of principle, this, that, and the third. What are your views, Delta 9 travelers? We got a chance to hear yesterday the points that was highlighted from Team Win.
Very early that the Forward Guyana movement did not receive enough votes to attain a seat on any committee based on the formula that was utilized. And so we were all aware of that since last year. Was quite clear and made some pronouncements as it relates to his intention, as it relates to the leader of the Guyana movement, which is MP Amanza Walton Desir. It was his intention to nominate her for the Foreign Relations Committee. And
so that's what Team Win was highlighting, and we heard what Honorable Amanza was highlighting, and we had a chance as well to hear the views of persons highlighting the facts and the principles about the matter of why Amanza should not be in that position. Now it's up to you, Delta 9 travelers. We all analyze as we sussing out this whole situation right here. Drop it in the comment section. Let's have some right thinking conversation about this. Big up yourself. Make sure that you subscribe and be a part of the channel membership so that you can be updated with everything that's trended in Guyana and in the diaspora. One love. I'll catch you in the next one.